welcome back to the channel, Lost Legends TV. This is Ray. I hope you're having a wonderful new year. I'm starting this year off with 10 movies that I want to see this year. We had some pretty good movies in 2023. We had some hit or miss movies in 2023. So I'm hoping this year is a very good year for us horror fans. Number one right off the bat is Brightburn 2. It's now been 5 years since Brightburn has released. I do know they have somewhat confirmed there will be a Brightburn 2, and it's like an evil Justice League, which I really fuck with. However, what I would like from Brightburn is to see different standalone movies portraying these other evil villains and then bring it all together, kind of like the Avengers, but not in such of a way that you see all of these characters on screen immediately in the sequel. I personally don't want that. I think it's too big of a leap. I think you should take time, all of these stories, and then bring them together. The problem with that is that if you're going to keep the main cast, these kids aren't getting any younger. So you got to make moves. You know, I don't want to see a whole bunch of CGI. I don't want to see a bunch of de-aging. I want to bring it back to the days where actors were fucking actors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you make these movies and you show Brandon here and there. Yeah, absolutely. You have to do that, since I guess he is the evil Superman or whatnot. But if you take all these movies and you tie them together well, yeah, it's gonna blow our balls off. Okay, number 2 on my list is It Follows 2, or aka They Follow. So yeah, the last time I checked here, they have announced They Follow, which It Follows is one of those films that I really loved. I thought it was a great standalone movie. It was one of the ones that really stood out as an indie movie to me. I've watched it time and time again, and it never gets old. It's always creepy. It always has that fucking atmosphere there. I love it, and I'm really excited to see that they have announced a sequel here. And I'm really glad that Maika Monroe, I hope I really pronounced that correctly. I'm glad she's coming back because I feel like her main character was great in the movie. She had a lot to carry in that movie, and I think she did a very good job. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with it though, because I feel like in this one they're going to have to develop some kind of twist, you know, because you can't really do the same thing twice and expect it to work. It's not the 80s and 90s anymore. But as long as the original writers and directors come in here and it don't push too much of a studio feel to it, I feel like it's going to be fine. Okay, number 3 on my list is Hereditary 2. Yeah, I know this came out in 2018, but I've always loved Hereditary. There's something about Hereditary that just brings the eeriness out in horror, you know? It's not cliche. It's its own fucking product. Like, they did so many off-the-wall things with it, and I mean that in a good way. They had bonkers hallucination scenes, you know? Millie Shapiro as Charlie just blew me out the water. The cast was great. When Tony played Annie in that movie, when she's fucking chopping her fucking head off, that's creepy. Alex Wolff played Peter. He did an amazing job, especially when that fucking classroom scene when he's like... They had all the elements you need in a horror movie. It's one of the horror movies way back in 2018. I feel like they really did their own thing and it really stood out, especially during that time period in that year. The whole thing, the premise was eerie, the scenes were eerie, the story was eerie. The way they paralleled like what was happening in Annie's like miniature collection, dealing with trauma and the demonic sense of it. I would love to see another story with a different family in the same universe. I wouldn't say an anthology, but another story with this cult following that's happening with this demonic entity, the leader. One of the best things about Hereditary was the cinematography. It was so eerie, it was so nightmarish, and I fucking loved it. I would love to see another film with this. My number 4 is Welcome to Derry. Now, if there is one movie that I fuck with 100%, for one, I'm a huge Stephen King fan, alright? I love Stephen King's books. I think he does great work. Not to sound cliche, but I really, really love his stories. I love It, of course, Christine, Later. You know, he has so many good books out there that I can't even sit here and name them all. But It, even as a child, seeing the Losers Club and how this clown is imitating their fears and really fucking with them to get their fears so he can fucking eat them. I loved the 1990 series. I still go back almost every year and rewatch it myself. I love the 2017 Chapter 1. Chapter 2 was tolerable. I can tolerate it, no problem. I feel like it kind of went off the rails a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. You know, they had some de-aging that didn't work well with me. They had some CGI that was just kind of over the top. I do think Chapter 1 blows Chapter 2 straight out of the fucking water. But that's not to say that I am up for another story of Welcome to Derry. I mean, From what I understand, that this is supposed to be a prequel to the 2017 It. I also know that they have released some official stills, which I've seen, which I'm really excited for. It didn't give too much away, just to really look at cast members, the setting, the cinematography, the atmospheric. And I also know that we had to deal with a strike, which, you know, if you don't know about that, it's over now. But hopefully now that everything's going in the right direction, I'm not going to get political about it, this has a 2025 release. However, I hope sometime this year they give us a little flavor of at least what to expect, a sneak peek of some kind. Okay, number 5 is Crystal Lake, the TV series. I never thought I'd see the day where Jason Voorhees would get a TV series. Can it work? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Freddy's Nightmares, I mean, if you guys don't know about that, check that out. It's pretty much an anthology series hosted by Freddy, but they did throw in some personal assets to keep the Freddy and Nightmare storyline going with that, but it works great. I love watching it. You can tell it's low budget, it's 80s, but that does not take away from the Freddy-esque of it. Personally, I love it. Now, with this Jason thing, from what I understand is this is going to tell the story of Jason. It's going to jump timelines with that. Is that a good thing? Yes, I think so. Because I think you can go throughout the franchise, if they go in this direction, and fix some of the things we personally don't like, or see where the stories kind of ended and continue on. You know, like let's say Roseblood. You know, Peter, if you're watching this, you made a hell of a film. Part 4, you know, what happened to that Tommy, you know? Part 5, what happened to Reggie after that? There are so many things you can do with a TV series. Do you need a main plot? Yes, absolutely. You need a main plot. I personally don't know what they're gonna do. All I know is Adrienne King's gonna be there, and I'm super excited about that. They had the main girl from the original Friday the 13th there. I mean, that's fucking phenomenal. I don't know what role she's gonna play in the series, if she did canically died off in the second one, but I'm always down for some cameos on this. I'm just wondering how many cameos we're gonna get. I'm sure that Kane Hodder won't play Jason. I just have that feeling. There is this quote by Brian Fuller I want to cover here. It says, Camp Crystal Lake is less of a prequel series than a pre-remake Yule series. Yeah. This could definitely be a new forming concept of horror franchises after requels or legacy quels, which are basically brand new characters supported by legacy characters. When asked if there were limitations on using characters and locations from Friday the 13th, Fuller said everything. We can use everything. We can go to hell, we can go to space. That's not to say that we do those things to God, I fucking hope not. Hell would be cool. Space, no, fuck that. Although if we do go 10 seasons, I will be lobbying hard to go to space. If we're getting 10 seasons of Jason, woo! God damn. Am I down? Yes. The problem I have with this though is not this. The problem I have personally with the franchise, if they decide to go this route, if they make this TV series with Jason and they explore all of these different territories, and then they make another Friday film that has nothing to do with the Crystal Lake series, I find that having these two timelines going at the same time, I don't feel like that's the right move. If you somehow blend all of these together, yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna judge. I will give every project out there a chance. I'm gonna like some of them. I'm not gonna like some of them. But that's the beauty about having, at least we have something to put out there. My number 6 is a Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. Yes, it has been way too long since we have gotten a fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's gonna be 14 years now. God, that's hard to say, but I'm glad that Friday the 13th is getting new material. It is time for Freddy to do something new. I just really hope they don't go AI and fucking technology with this. I really don't. They can do something completely different, which I'm fine with. I just do not want to go this AI route. I feel like AI in horror right now is fucking played out. Like, I don't want that. Child's Play did that, and I enjoyed it. Do I feel like you can make a whole another 4 or 5 movies off of that? No. I don't think so. I want to see Freddy back in a new way. Maybe more of a hard, dark, psychological way. I'm talking about he is fucked. I don't want to see Freddy running around in fucking computers and in your phone. If you're having a dream, he's fucking with you, yeah, sure. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. You know, I'm always up for that. I would like a new creative direction for Freddy. The Halloween franchise was just revitalized. It had a pretty decent trilogy. I wouldn't say great, I wouldn't say awful, but Freddy and Jason is now well deserved to have their shit picked back up, get it on track, punch out these movies, kill some motherfuckers. It's time. My number 7 is a very interesting one. My number 7 is another Christine movie. Now, if you guys know me, you know I love Christine. With all my heart, I fucking love the book. I love John Carpenter's movie. I want to see Christine go somewhere. And again, if it was my personal choice, I do not want this AI-driven fucking car. I don't want that. Because it's going to take everything special from the entity Christine away. What would I do? I would go back to the main source, the book, and I would pull heavy from it. Since I saw the John Carpenter film first, before I even read the book, and there is day and night. Now, I honestly feel like Christine could be a TV series. I mean, that book is so long, there's plenty of characters in there, there's plenty of events and actions that take place. You could easily break that up into chapters. But if we had a movie, again, I don't want it to be AI. I feel like you should go back and, can you set it in present day? Yeah, sure. But let that fucking vintage car stand out in all of these, the new age, you know? Let it be bold. The thing that John Carpenter's movie was missing was the whole antagonist, LeBay. I would love to see Arnie, Dennis, Lee. The opportunities are endless. Now, I saw at one point that Blumhouse was interested in taking this. I don't know the update on that, so if there is an update, feel free to drop it down in the comments, because I don't go and look for news. But yes, I would really love another Christine movie. It's been a long time. Not a horror franchise yet. It's not washed out. It hasn't been drugged to the fucking ground and back, you know, the hell and back with fucking sequel after failed sequel. It is something that is still relatively fresh. It's really been untouched other besides John Carpenter's movie. So yes, the possibilities are endless. And you can go a long way with that. But yeah, I would love to see Christine back on the road. Number 8 is Talk to Me 2. I watched Talk to Me a couple of days ago and it blew me away. The movie was so fucking fresh. It was a huge breath of fresh air. Because I watch a lot of horror movies and a lot of the times I'm just like, you know, yeah, sure, it was okay. But this one I was like, dude, that's a good fucking movie. The concept was simple, but it was so effective. When people got possessed, it was like they was actually possessed, you know. The characters they was portraying normally and the characters they was portraying as possessed was totally fucking polar opposites, and I thought they did a fucking great fucking job. I would love to see another story with another family, because you know the other hand is out there and we don't know what happened to the hand that was in the hospital. So yeah, I feel like there is another story to be made. Grab another group of fresh new actors out there, bust out another fucking movie, make it eerie, add another fucking twist to it. Okay, my number 9 is Saw 11. Yes, I know. There was a point in time where I thought the Saw franchise was just absolutely washed up. It was done. I did not want to see a new movie. And then Saw X came out. And it totally changed my perspective. I was like, dude, how long are you gonna fucking milk this fucking cow? But when I saw that they made Saw 10 or Saw X, I really loved the movie. Will it be another John Kramer chapter? I don't know. Will it follow Hoffman? I don't know. Amanda? I don't know. There are endless possibilities you can take this. The only thing I don't want from the Saw movies is to go back, for one, change the timeline. I don't want it changed because the Saw timeline already is kind of like confusing as it is. Sometimes it's really hard to follow. If you want to throw in another John chapter in there, or maybe another Hoffman or another character we thought was done for, who had an earlier piece to work with, yeah, sure. After Saw 10, I realized that the franchise is not over. I still feel like it has a couple more films to bring fresh air into the franchise. Do I feel like you can make 10 more with John in them? No, I really don't think so. I don't feel like it's done quite yet. I think Saw X proved that. But I would love to see John Kramer back on the big screen again this year. My number 10 is my most exciting film, my most anticipated film, is Terrifier 3. When we first started Lost Legends TV, the first movie we reviewed on the channel was Terrifier. And I know I say that a lot, but I remember, I think I watched this on like fucking Tubi or some shit. You know, it was just like this low budget fucking movie about this clown. But art stood the fuck out. And then as time went on, I realized that there was more movies with art. You know, there was All Hallows Eve. And then I fucking eventually found the short film, the original Terrifier short film. And then they made Terrifier 2, and boy, you know. And I sound like a broken record, but I feel like if this keeps going, Art is going to be on the Mount Rushmore of horror, which he belongs on. You know, Damien Leone, I was very lucky to talk to the director himself, meet him, and David Howard Thornton, who plays Art. I got to meet them in and out of costume. I got a whole lot of respect for them. They're nice guys, and I trust Damien with this franchise. I don't know if it's true, but I heard after Terrifier 3, Damien is going to move on to other things. Not saying that Terrifier will be over after the third one, but who knows? I feel like as long as it stays in Damien's hands, I hope that David continues to play Art. If these things happen, I have no doubt that they're going to make phenomenal movies, you know? It's going to be gore galore. And I love that. You know, Art is he's funny, he's scary. It's a real nice mixture of everything you need in a good horror movie. So Terrifier 3, bringing back Sienna, bringing back Jonathan, and how this all plans together, because 1 and 2 kind of feel like separate realities in a way. But to tie this all back in together and see what the full story is, I'm really excited to see this year. Will we get it this year? I don't know, because I know they just started filming, but I hope we get something this year. Now I do have a runner-up. I do have Beetlejuice 2. I have seen pictures of principal photography. I have seen little bits. I'm sure you guys have too. You know, you've seen the little stills here and there. I hope Michael Keaton comes back and fucking rips this shit out of the water like he never left. But yeah, that's my list, guys. I hope some of my favorite movies get some sequels, and I hope that Friday the 13th franchise is revitalized correctly. I hope that Nightmare is revitalized correctly. I personally think that the Halloween franchise right now just needs to take a rest. I loved Halloween 2018. I like Halloween Kills. I have grown to like most of Halloween Ends, even though, you know, say what you want to about the movie. They marketed that so wrong. It was a huge slap in the face, but I have fucking grown to love the Corey character. It's just, Halloween Ends wasn't a Michael film. It was such a standalone film for the first two. It's hard to rate it as a trilogy, because when you have one movie that doesn't feel like it's a part of the fucking train ride there, what do? But that's going on a tangent. Yeah, if they're gonna reboot it or do whatever they want to do with the Halloween franchise, I feel like they need to take it down a notch. I feel like they need to sit on it, get some writing done, and just let it cook for a while. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and taking part of your day to kick with me. I love you guys, and till next time, adios.